This school has doubled GCSE A to C's in a year. And according to the head teacher, support staff can claim much of the credit.
It's not about being a sergeant major, it's not about offering them tea and sympathy, it's about putting together a package that will enable them to cope better.
Present level is 5C.
It's quite good.
It is good.
But it
is really good. But she's saying that you could possibly be a 6.
A network of learning mentors, teaching assistants and even data specialists work alongside an attainment head to identify pupils failing to meet expectations. They're targeted for intensive support and the results are clear.
I really did think when I opened my GCSE results and you've got your grades, it's just a happy feeling ever. You're just so proud.
This programme looks at how David Lister School in Hull has transformed attainment and the big part played in that transformation by support staff. The story starts with a radical decision by the school's head to abolish heads of year and replace the posts with strand coordinators. John Munson is responsible for attainment. He spends half his time teaching and the rest on marshalling the school's support staff to ensure that each and every pupil reaches their personal target.
I start from the basis of the school's values, and we have a key value, but every member of our school community should try to be the best that they can be.
So with a bit more homework and a bit more attitude, you could be up to a 6.
With a roll of some 1,300 pupils, monitoring the progress of each one is a huge task. But tracking is essential, so the school's support staff have devised a data system which is intended to be all-encompassing and simple to use. It's popular with pupils too. It works on a traffic light basis.
These are our targets. We've talked about these in other lessons because we keep going back to them because we need to be getting to these level 6s. If it's green, it means you're achieving it or beyond it. If it's on orange, it means that you're 1 sub-level below. And if it's on red, then it means that we're more than 2 sub-levels, 2 sub-levels or below it. So it shows you that although maybe you might not be reaching your target, you are actually making some progress, which is good. That's what we're asking. That's all we ask at the end of the day.
Angela Swales splits her time between teaching and a senior role in the support staff network.
The students really like it. They like that interaction with each other, really, about comparing themselves with each other, you know. But it's also about them knowing exactly where they are. They know which bit of the coursework they need to improve because, you know, they're green. They don't need to do anything. They're fine. They've done. They're amber. They must do something. Or they're red and they really need to do it. So they're absolutely sure of what they need to do. And I think that's the power of the whole thing.
But it's not just about data for data's sake. It's about how the data is used.
I think what's different here is the breadth of the interventions that we use after we've identified the students who are underachieving. So it's not really about the system for collecting the data, it's about how we analyse it and what happens after that when we discover the students who are underachieving. The range of interventions we have is very broad.
For students on red and amber, I ask the question of staff, what are you doing to move this young person forward and what support do you need? This is where the customised package of support comes in. It could involve mentoring and coaching support, it could involve attendance at booster sessions, it could involve, as it does with all our students on red, an action plan, which is a collection of their most important targets within a time frame which is fully shared with parents and fully shared with all staff so that we all know what that young person has to do.
Support staff and teachers meet each week to discuss any pupils who need an action plan.
Issues that are not resolved include English and history coursework, right, and some bullying issues as well. This is actually one of the most able young ladies that we've got. Her grades are a mixture of C's and D's. Okay. Obviously, real concern is the fact that the 2 English exams are on D and the history is on D as well. Right. There's no reason why that should be. Yeah. We've got to look at what support we can put in place in school to try and turn the situation around.
What can we do? Has she had some support from the learning mentor?
Referrals for support would come from subject teachers. A lot of our referrals actually come from the students themselves because they're aware that they're in difficulties and they're aware that there's help and they come for help themselves, which I think is incredibly positive. I would also look at data and suggest students who require support. I will make sure that I speak to the tutor.
You'll speak to the tutor, yeah.
The tutor is aware of what support
what
we can put in place.
So we'll have an action plan very soon.
Send off.
To begin the package of intervention, each pupil is placed with a learning mentor.
Right. My role as attainment strand manager is to ensure that all the mentoring is coherent, that it all focuses on academic outcomes, and that it helps a young person to make sense of what's going through school. It's not about dragooning kids into rooms to make them pass tests and exams.
Well, Miss Foyson is my learning mentor, and she's the person that I go to when I just need a bit of help with something, or a bit of advice, or basically just to make sure I'm on level ground with everything.
It's very, very easy to do things for students and it only makes them helpless. That's not what we want. We want students ultimately to become independent learners who take responsibility for learning and who actually enjoy it. And we can only achieve that, yes, by giving support, but also by encouraging the student to, if you like, dig deep into their own personal resources, to look at aspects of their character that they might be unaware of.
They always say that it's up to me. If I want to do well, then I've got to do it myself. They can't really help me in that way. It's down to me at the end of the day. They do push, yeah. Like with my grades and everything, they have gone up already, so they do help.
For mentoring sessions to be meaningful, they have to be based on meaningful information. The mentor would have received feedback from student subject teachers, and this obviously has to be discussed with the student, not in terms of presenting them with problems, but with solutions to problems. Missing coursework is a good example. It's very, very easy to keep somebody behind after school to get them to catch up. It's more rewarding to look at the issues that have caused the young person to fall behind, to give them advice on time management and to help them take responsibility for putting things right.
Learning mentor Mark Richardson is working with Lewis, a pupil who's not meeting expectations.
No, what we'll do is we'll set you some targets, like I will listen to instructions more, try to stay focused more, and you've got a time scale of that. You've got we said a month there. Should we stick with that?
Yeah.
Do you agree with that? You think you can do that?
Yeah. I'll try.
You try. So
I'll
we
try
ask.
them both.
You try with them both.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So if we go a month, yeah.
Yeah.
So now I'll see you before the month's out, just to catch up on how things are going and see if you think you're doing okay, and I'll speak to Mr. Boynton. Okay. Well, Lewis was referred because he's in the gifted and talented group, and at the minute he's not quite reaching his levels in science and IT. So he was referred to me by those subject teachers. I've spoken to them about their concerns about Lewis, and then we just put things in place, strategies that Lewis can do. There's a science one, which you're saying that you're more bothered about, yeah?
Yeah.
Present level is 5C. Do you understand 5C?
Yeah.
Yeah?
That's quite good.
It is good.
I'm
But
just complaining.
it is really good. But she's saying that you could possibly be a 6. It's to try and raise attainment, and it's the guys who are, and ladies obviously, who are struggling with the predicted 5A to C's, and sometimes drop off for whatever reason, whether it be home life or a particular teacher or something like that. And then we put strategies in place for them and just support them along the way and try and keep them on track. Subject targets that she's suggesting is start work straight away and complete work set. We'll ask for help more.
I usually get distracted inside.
Yeah, and we'll ask for more help if unsure about topic.
You know, you've got to tell Miss Tell not to bite me off if I ask.
Yeah, well, I was going to show this to Miss Tell anyway, so she'll see it, so she'll know what we're working at.
The support staff also arrange booster classes and after-school revision sessions. Another innovation has been to bring in university students, so that pupils can hear directly from their peers the benefits of raising attainment.
Well, I'm a mentor, so I come in every Wednesday and just have a quick chat with the kids and sort of like help them raise their aspirations and just make them realise that, I know, it's not just smart kids who go to university, it's just people who want to improve themselves.
So I know it does seem quite easy here, but is it a lot harder work at university?
It's hard, but I guess because I actually like my course, so I actually enjoy the work, because I can remember when I was like doing like secondary school and stuff, and you get like maths and stuff, and I just wasn't good at it, and I used to like tear my hair out. I was like, why me? Whereas in university, it's more like you enjoy the subject, but obviously there are some subjects which are boring, but they're not as frightening to you as, do you know what I mean, the subjects that you really don't like, because you obviously go for a subject that you kind of, you know, that you enjoy.
For those struggling to make the grade in maths and English, the school now offers online tests through EdExcel. Pupils practice the tests, and passing means half a GCSE in each of numeracy and literacy.
And sometimes it's better to have a look at your answers and then see if you can spot it inside there. OK, on this one, this is really easy, these type of questions, because it says that there's a spelling mistake in the article, and it's actually telling you which line to look at, and it actually tells you that the word's there. So you could just look at those words and say, is special spelled correctly? And then look at it if you need to.
Special is right.
We've got a number of pupils that, one reason or another, they've chosen maybe not to do coursework, things like that, and that brings the grade right down. So basically, this is an opportunity for them to be able to get a better grade without having to do all the coursework and go into all of that. So the range is the smallest one taken away from the largest one, and that gives you the range of wages that they'll have.
One thing that it does offer them, as well as a worthwhile qualification, is a unique opportunity to boost their confidence. Students who have failed through school, who have found it difficult, who may be disengaged, this is a good way to come in, use the skills that they've got, develop those skills that need developing, get instant feedback, and then there is that immediacy of gaining the GCSE qualification.
Simone Kirkup is a former student who benefited from intervention at David Lister. She's grateful she made it to college.
If it wasn't for the support, and particularly Mr Munson putting me on some of these courses and just reassuring me and like pushing me, then I really did think when I opened my GCSE results and you've got your grades, it's just a happy feeling ever. You're just so proud.
I felt incredibly proud, and I have to admit I felt very emotional, because there were lots and lots of students like Simone who were opening their envelopes in perhaps a bit of them expected the worst, but they were absolutely so proud of themselves for what they had achieved. I was very proud of our staff team, because we all made that really outstanding effort to push these students. And I'd like to think that as a strand coordinator for attainment, I was able to focus those efforts so that it really, really made a difference on an individual level.